We're going to start. Tonight is going to be, let me just say, very, very unusual, quick service. Because of the weather, it looks like a lot of people are not coming out, thinking that it's going to be outdoors. But I'm really happy for everyone who are here. It's not going to be your regular Friday evening service with our regular prayers and blessings. It's just going to be our blessing for our animals. And so everybody should have like a little handout, and let's begin on page 2. And look at the words. I changed it out a little bit, even though the words in Hebrew are the same from Psalm 133. Hine ma tov uma naim shevet achim gam yachad. The English part is Hine ma tov uma naim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant for humans and pets being together. So, let's begin singing together. I expected a few more kids here, but it is what it is, and we are who we are. So
we're kids at heart.
We are all kids at heart. That's correct. Let's do a little opening reading, and then I'm going to ask all our college students to be the children, if you don't mind. God created the animals, birds of the air, fish of the sea, and the many beloved creatures who walk or crawl on the earth, and God declared them all to be good. Together,
the glory of a horse running, the beauty of an eagle in flight, the majesty of a dolphin leaping, all display the wonders of sacred life.
We're gathered here today to bless the animals that are in our midst, those who are our very close companions, and to ask for God's blessing on these friends and on the many animals who share this earth with us. So, children.
Animals are not only God's creatures, but they are also a great blessing to all of us. All who have pets should love them, provide for them, and care for their needs. Loving an animal is a beautiful thing. The care we show any animal is a measure of personal integrity.
Adults, what does the care we show any animal is a measure of personal integrity mean to you? So if anyone would like to just give a little answer, I guess I plan for a little conversation between parents and children, but that is absolutely fine. I'd like to ask again, the care we show any animal is a measure of personal integrity. What does it mean?
It's, to use the colloquialism, the golden rule, doing unto others. I couldn't imagine ever harming, hurting, even neglecting an animal. Because I wouldn't like that, but it's even more than that. Those of us that we'll talk about, we care for these, love these animals. they can't speak for themselves.
Can't care for
So we're
themselves.
their advocates.
Beautifully said. Beautiful. Beautifully said. Anyone else? So
Right?
definitely we're not, I'd like to believe that none of us here would ever harm an animal directly. None of us would ever lay a hand or, God forbid, do really bad things that other people do. But there are some unseen ways that we harm other beings in our environment. What could those be?
Pesticides.
Pesticides.
For wild animals, it's encroaching on their land.
Yeah.
Just if you don't mind, speak a little bit louder.
Deforestation and ravaging the environment that they live in.
So Dave and I have this thing that we do. If we buy cans of drinks, for example, 6 cans of some sort of a Coke or ginger ale or something, we always cut the plastic that surrounds them.
They would think of a better way to package that.
Right?
Because
So-
they can get the birds or fish or, get entangled in them.
Everybody have seen some of those horrific pictures of, let's say, a sea mammal just getting caught in one of those. Their beaks, their fins get caught. So sometimes, without even meaning to hurt or harm other beings, we end up doing so. And so it's really, really advisable for us to always think before we engage environment and see if we can do something better that will not hurt others. Of course, the conversation could go on for hours and hours, but we'd like to keep this short, so let's go on to page 3 and read together. The Bible tells us a righteous person cares for the needs of animals, and that is in Proverbs 12:10. Let's continue. When God created the universe, God blessed us with all living creatures. We thank our pet friends who bring us so much joy in life. Their presence very often helps us get through trying times. May, and now feel free to put your
Free flowing and all the other
continue to remind me of the meaning of joy. May we continue to care and love our pets, and in taking care of them, we share God's love for all God's creatures. And speaking of all God's creatures, Mike Mullis and I introduced this really lively song. You guys stay over there. We'll have enough time later on to schmooze, sorry. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on that telephone wire, and some just clap their hands, their paws, or anything they got now. Very simple, very easy to pick up on. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Listen to the bass, that's the point at the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big moo, and the old cow just goes moo. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. The dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddle, the donkey brays and the pony pays, and the old gray badger sighs. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands little birds singing, all the melodies and high notes swinging, and the owl cries over everything, and the blackbird disagrees. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day. The little duck quacks and he's on his way. The otter hasn't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. I don't know how to do that. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. And the last verse, number 5. It's a simple song of living sung everywhere. But the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, grumpy alligator and a hog, the sly old the weasel and the turtle dove. All God's creatures got place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. I think I messed up verse 1. Let's go back and no, I'm just kidding.
You have all different words than we had.
The what?
Your words are all different than we had.
No way.
Our number 5 says everybody here is part of a plan.
Oh, seriously? Oh my God. I'm
That's
sorry
right.
about that.
We were like, where's she run?
Yeah, sorry. I just, I
It's
guess
my version.
it's Mike's fault. That's it. Mike is not here. It's Mike's fault. Sorry. Thank you for telling me. I do apologize. I guess I blown up some other version. As you can tell, there are many other versions of this beautiful song. But from here, we're going to get just a little bit more serious, if you will. And this is a time where I'm going to invite you to place your hand on your pets. And this is a very special healing blessing that I found in one of the resources. And Dave, my husband here, is going to do it on my behalf. God, we thank you for providing for our every need and the needs of our animals. If our pet, and let's say his or her name's Mocha Oreo, is ill, we ask for your help in healing him, them, her, they, because they cannot speak. We trust your divine guidance in Oreo and Mocha's life. We ask for healing and strength. Blessed are you, Holy Source, who gives life to all living creatures. We ask you to bless these animals with your love. Enable them to live fully in praise to your name. May we always praise you for all your beauty in creation. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, in all your creatures. As we all say together, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye et hakol. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, who gives life to all. And so, of course, we have to say Mishaberach for our people as well. And so, on this Shabbat, we lovingly think of Adele Friedman, Anita Rosenzweig, Barbara Chansey, Kamya Beal, Danielle Hurst, Elise Schipper, Fred Belkin, Harriet Coleman, Harvey Malin, Heather Mullis, Marcy Sherloff, Nancy Lieber, Natalie Litovsky, Paula Matai, Philip Chansey, Ray Lee, Tommy Light. If you'd like to add a name to our healing list, please raise your hand and we'll all sing together, Mishaberach. Yes, thank you.
What if
I'm
it's
sure
friends?
it's one of your beloved friends, buddy. Okay, I'll continue to sing, that's fine.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
That's why he was really going out loud. He wants us to sing. Mishera imotenu mekol habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. Their renewal of body, their renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Many years ago, when I did one of Paws Shabbat elsewhere, actually it was in California, I came across this beautiful melodic song that just fits so very well to this atmosphere of loving care. It really never really made it big, never became famous, but I invite you to look at the words. Very, very simple. I look up and I see God. I look down and see my dog. Simple spelling, G-O-D. Same word backwards, D-O-G. He would stay with me all day. I'm the one who walks away. But both of them just wait for me and dance at my return with glee. Both love me no matter what. Divine God, and can I not? I take it hard each time I fail, but God forgives, dog wags his tail. God thought up and made the dog. God reflects a part of God. I've seen love from both sides now. It's everywhere. Amen. Bow wow. I look up and I see God. I look down and see my dog. And in my human frailty, I can't match their love for me.
Good night, everybody. Oh my God.
That is so awesome. That is, I like that.
Wow. Okay.
So this evening we have wonderful people who, in addition to being loving animal people, they also do continuously acts of loving kindness. I can't really tell you how much I appreciate the two of you, Stu and Linda. And so Stu and Linda are going to share some of what it is that they do. And I will give you the floor. I'm happy to hold I'm happy to
With the
hold
babysitter.
Sophie. Sophie, right?
Sophie with a few.
That's okay, deal with it. Oh, you warmed up this seat.
Thank you so
That
much.
was his buttocks.
Thank you so much. That's my gift.
So, most of you know me. My name is Linda Needle, and I've been around the temple for a long time. So, before we get into what we do, I'll tell you my background as it relates to animals. Growing up, we weren't allowed to have dogs. My dad got bitten by a dog when he was younger. No dogs at the Babner house. It was fish from the porn carnival. That was the extent of our animals.
Not gefilte?
No, just fish from the porn carnival. On Stu, on the other hand,
So I had, as far back as I can remember, we had other pets, but dogs were the focal point. I think our first dog that I remember having was a stray. And I remember my parents got it for me. Before I knew what a dog was, they brought it home, they found it wherever it was. That was dog number one, ironically. So it was a rescue from the very beginning, and then we had successive dogs, just always in the house. We had a lot of dachshunds, and then other ones, but I've always had dogs.
so how this came about was I was determined that my children were going to grow up with dogs. So we had dogs our whole life, the kids. And in 2013, it was me and Stu, and we had our two dogs, one of which is still with us and one's not. And I said, I want another dog, but I don't know if I really want another dog. So I went searching on the internet, and I found this rescue called Shih Tzu and Fur Baby Rescue. So I applied to be a foster. They called me back. They came to our house and did a home visit. It's harder to adopt a dog than it is a child. So they came and they met with us, with them it is, yeah. And they said, okay, we're gonna bring you your first foster. And I remember our first foster, her name was Delilah. And 42 dogs later, our last dog left last week to go to Milford, Delaware.
42.
So do you want to talk about the rescue?
Yeah, just one thing of note of all these dogs that we've had. Some we've had for Delilah was what?
A week.
Short. Yeah, it's very. She came to us with severe diabetes. Nobody knew.
No, that wasn't her.
It wasn't. So what? Oh right.
That was
Coco. So we've had some for very, very short amounts of time, and then some we've had.
9 months.
Typically, we have them for months. So, so Shih Tzu and Fur Baby Rescue is the rescue we work with primarily. They're based in St. Mary's, Georgia. It's just south of the state line. Meredith Coley and us have become very close.
Who's Jewish, by the way?
Jewish, very Jewish. And we love supporting this cause, we love supporting this rescue. We've worked with a couple of others, the Maltese one, Luminous House, which is here locally, Farm. We've done other stuff, but STFBR is our primary. They are a 501c3. She's been around doing this for 20, 30, a long time. And she is just absolutely passionate about the rescue portion. She's always going after individual dogs in need, along with major installations. We have gone after breeders that have abandoned their group, hoarders that have had unbelievable numbers of dogs they shouldn't have had. Just these amazing quantities, and somehow Meredith gets them transported, vets them, and gets them placed. We have been through so many experiences, Linda and I, in different, sometimes Linda, sometimes me, sometimes both. Just some examples. So a lot of people ask, how do you give these guys up? And we go through this it's a decision, it's a commitment made every single time of
Some are very easy.
sending them off. That one right there was our one proud and famous failure. We could not, how can you let that face go? So every time we go through this, we have had traumatic experiences of even taking dogs. I went to the McDonald's in White Marsh one midnight night to take an owner's surrender of a dog who the woman had conflicts with her house, and her husband would not tolerate her having a dog. So I took this dog, and she had to leave the house without him knowing about it. And at midnight at a McDonald's, it's closed. I'm taking a dog. It felt like a drug deal. But the woman was just distraught. She wanted to make sure, to assure herself that the dog was safe. So she cried hysterically. I held her in my arms. I assured her we would take care of this dog, and it was placed. Thank you so much. So Shih Tzu Fur Baby Rescue is our cause, it's our mission. We're happy.
So Meredith will call us and say, okay, I have this dog, and we've gone to Barks and picked up dogs. Sometimes I don't even tell him. I'm like, oh, we're just going to get this dog for a little while. And, you know, some of them have behavior issues. We've gotten bitten by a few.
Yeah.
But the most rewarding and most fun time we had was when we got this dog that was from a breeder in Indiana. And she was, when we got her, she was an awful mess. So we took her, which they shaved her down, and she got back to us, and I looked at her and I said, I think she's pregnant. So off to the vet we go. Yep, she was pregnant. And we got to experience her delivering 6 puppies that we kept in a pool in our kitchen in August, keeping the house at 85 degrees for the puppies. They are all adopted out. 2 went to a friend of mine who they got to babysit them on the weekend. We know where all of them are. We have a Facebook page for all of them, and the mom is in New Jersey with a groomer and living the best life ever. So
I think the thing with because your father, that was his issue with biting. We have had dogs that have been, behavioral issues. And as you've probably seen in videos, and I mean, there are times when dogs are afraid, they're concerned, they're anxious, they'll bite. We have never let that, dissuade us. We had a couple like back to back who were just major behavior. It doesn't stop us. We love dogs too much to let that get.
How do you find homes?
So the rescue it's all volunteer, completely volunteer. And it's based in Georgia, however, there are homes all the way from Florida up the coast to Maine and as far west as Pittsburgh. So when people go onto the Shih Tzu and Fur Baby site, they fill out an application. And there are processors that look at the application. If you apply for a puppy and you work full-time, you're not getting a puppy. She looks at, what they say in their application, and she matches a dog to the person. And there's a contract, they pay, and if they're in Florida and the dog's in Maine, we do a transport once a month where everyone fills out, there's a survey monkey or something. We've done transport a couple times, but person 1 will drive 60 miles and then the next person will pick the dogs up. So they usually end up overnight in Bel Air because there's a woman that keeps them in Bel Air. They all meet in Bel Air, and on Sunday morning they go north or they go south to their forever homes or their foster homes.
You don't use FedEx or UPS?
No FedEx, no.
It is not a quick process. We get frustrated at times, but it's an egalitarian, cooperative, because it's not just Meredith, it's not just anyone. It is literally a collect, just like we are here. We're a group involved, consensus based, and several times. I know one of our neighbors applied, waited.
And she was 80, and Meredith was like, I'm not giving her a dog that's young.
Was turned down multiple times.
And finally,
I advocated for her.
She has a dog now.
Back and forth.
She has a dog now.
Finally.
So,
finally.
Yeah, I mean, people get frustrated because they have to wait a while, but they check 3 references, they check records to the vet. If you don't have good vet records, she's not giving you a dog.
That's one of the
She is very passionate about making sure that the dogs go to a home that they're going to be taken care of. And the contract states that if something happens to you that you can't take care of the dog, you give it back to the rescue. And that's happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the website is stfbr.org. They always take donations.
I have one for you.
Okay.
Is it something we said, buddy?
And not all the dogs are listed on the website. Yeah, well, there's a Facebook page for